I note that the hour has come and that a quorum of this council is present. Council will now come to orders. Members will please take your seats. Visitors will please retire to the seats outside the rails. Before proceeding, I will ask all those present to please set your cell phones to silent or vibrate. Thank you. To give our invocation this morning, the chair recognizes Pastor Neil of St. Peter's Evangelical Lutheran Church. He is here today as the guest of Councilmember Phillips. I will ask all members and guests to please rise. Evangelical.
So this is very interesting. I've never been here before, so it's fascinating. Gwen and I have been Lutheran pastors in Philadelphia, 7.5 years in West Philly, 36 years now in West Oak Lane, husband-wife team. Let's pray. Perhaps, Creator God, the night was restful, or maybe it was long, or maybe it was exciting, or maybe it was tiring. But here we are with a morning that is brand new. And that means that we are alive today, this new day. We are functioning today. We can, for the most part, move, think, speak, listen, breathe, show up at City Council. Many of us had a roof over our head and a pillow under our head, clothes on our back and in the closet, shoes on our feet, food to eat, safety, I pray, friends or family, and many other blessings. Sometimes too many blessings to count, more than we need. Oh God, we didn't die last night. Did we assume that this would happen that way? Did we take it for granted? Are we humbled by the miracle of another day, another heartbeat? Are we grateful for the gifts, the blessings, the fresh opportunities? Do we recognize our connectedness to one another, one Philadelphia, one United States, one world, one single humanity, created and valued, and not just animals? Dear God, we pray that we might truly be alive today, not just look alive, not just go through the motions or be busy. We pray that we might be humble and grateful, connected and strong and willing and loving as we honor you with how we live our life this day. We want to use this day carefully. We want to honor you with our being and our doing. Give us the right mind and heart and spirit.
And holy, mighty, merciful, and loving God, thank you for your watchful presence with us, even here this morning in this session of our City Council. Thank you for this gathering of women and men, elected officers who work to serve and guide the functioning of the city of Philadelphia. Lord, the many needs of the people and the many meetings, the finances, decisions, reports, etc., can make this job mind-boggling and feel overwhelming. So, oh God, use the talents, skills, wisdom, knowledge, and life experience of our council members and their staffs as they work together to respond to their duties and to the needs and cries of the people. Help them to have hearts of compassion for those who suffer. It seems, Lord, that the light that shines forth from that kind of focus and effort can rise to bless all of us if we will allow it. Give them courage in making tough decisions. When differences of opinions arise, keep us all respectful, not demonizing one another, and help us to find ways to keep listening to one another.
Amen.
Let your generous and sacrificial love for us be the model for how we try to live with each other. Pour your wisdom, your understanding, and strength on Council President Kenyatta Johnson and on Mayor Sherelle Parker as she works with Council to hold our city together and to see us thrive. Bless Councilmember Anthony Phillips, who represents the district that I live in, but bless each council member represented here and their work on your behalf to serve the people of their districts. Keep us on the battlefield for justice, for righteousness, and peace, fighting not with guns and knives or slanderous words, but with the Spirit's power of kindness, generosity, and love. Dear God, it's in your strong, yet tender name we pray. Amen.
Amen. The chair thank you for your invocation. Council will now be at ease.
You want me to say it?
No. Like he's going to call. So when you read the purpose resolution, you say, information by Councilman Thomas. And then he'll
Recognize him for
And Thomas
the
says,
vote.
no. Thomas is going to call and say, I move to adopt.
I move for the adoption.
Because he also makes the presentation.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then for them to get to work on it, he needs to pass it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So he needs to do that.
So we're doing normal.
We're doing normal.
So nothing, that conversation never happened.
Never happened.
All right. We're good. All right.
I'm sorry, 20A and 66 as a whole, right?
Yes.
20A and
Yes.
66.
Yes, I wrote it down as they said it. And we.
The next order of business is the approval of the journal of the meeting of Thursday, March the 14th, 2024. The chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, March 14th, 2024 be approved.
Is there a second? It has been moved and properly seconded that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, March the 14th of 2024 stand approved. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the journal is approved. The next order of business is request for leave of absence, and the chair recognizes Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the majority, there are no requests for leave of absence today.
The chair thanks the council member. The chair recognizes Councilmember Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. There are no reports for leave of absence today.
Thank you. The chair thanks the council member. The chair now recognizes Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion concerning certain legislative matters that may arise during the course of today's session of council and that were not listed on the calendar circulated prior to today's council session.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that any of the following matters, if considered today, may be added to the agenda for this session of council and as required by law, subsequently published on an amended agenda after the consideration of those matters. Resolutions authorizing hearings, amendments to bills on first reading, the reconsideration of a bill vetoed by or recalled from the mayor, amendments to bills recalled from the mayor, resolutions taking substantive action to be voted on in this session, a motion to withdraw a bill or resolution that is not on the calendar, and a motion placing a bill or resolution on or returning a bill or resolution from the suspension calendar that is not listed on today's calendar. The purpose of this motion is to provide the public with notice concerning possible actions by council that arose too late to be included on the calendar that was published prior to today's session.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the legislative matters stated by Councilmember Kathleen Gilmore Richardson may be added to the agenda for today should those matters arise during the course of this session of council. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. At this moment, the chair will dispense from the regular order of business to recognize the guests and visitors joining us in the chambers this morning. On behalf of all members of City Council, I welcome you to our council session. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us as we attend the legislative affairs of our city. We certainly invite you to come again. We also have in our balcony young students from Russell Byers Charter School. Let's give them a real big round of applause. Most importantly, they are the student council, and so let's all make sure we're on good behavior today. As there are no presentations today, we will now address the next order of business, which is communications. The chair requests that the sergeant at arms deliver the messages from the mayor to the chief clerk. The chief clerk will read the messages from the mayor and any other communications in her possession.
To the President and members of the Council of the City of Philadelphia, I'm submitting herewith for the consideration of your honorable body the following proposed ordinance: authorizing the Procurement Commissioner to enter into a contract for the construction of a sewer and appurtenant work required to provide public sewer service in the 600 and 700 blocks of Hedgeron Street under certain terms and conditions. A resolution approving the redevelopment contract for the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority for the redevelopment and urban renewal of a portion of the 44th and Aspen urban renewal area, identified by house number and street address as 644 and 646 North 40th Street, a portion of the Mantua urban renewal area, identified by house numbers and street addresses as 827 North 40th Street, 843, 847, 849, 851, 865, and 867 North 40th Street, and a portion of the Sarah Allen urban renewal area, identified by house numbers and street addresses as 818 and 830 North 40th Street, and authorizing the Redevelopment Authority to execute the redevelopment contract with North 40th Street LP and to take such action as may be necessary to effectuate the redevelopment contract. And the mayor is pleased to advise us that on March 20th, 2024, she signed the following bills which were passed by council at its session on March 7th, 2024. Bill number 240007 and bill number 240065. There are no further communications in my possession, Council President.
Thank you. The messages will be printed in the journal. The next order of business is the introduction of bills and resolutions. The chair recognizes Councilmember Phillips.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, Council President Johnson, and also the viewing public. I have no bills or resolutions for introduction today. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Councilwoman Kathleen Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Council President. Today I offer one privilege resolution proudly on your behalf.
Thank you. Would the clerk please read the title of the privilege resolution?
A resolution honoring Super Bowl champion Fletcher Cox on the occasion of his retirement from the National Football League and recognizing Fletcher's historic career with the Philadelphia Eagles.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jamie Gaudier.
Good morning, Council President. Today I have 3 bills and 1 non-privileged resolution.
Will the clerk please read the title of the bills and the non-privileged resolution?
A non-privileged resolution approving the redevelopment contract of the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority for the redevelopment and urban renewal of a portion of the 44th and Aspen renewal area identified by house number and street address as 644 and 646 North 40th Street, a portion of the Mantua urban renewal area identified by house numbers and street address as 827, 843, 847, 849, 851, 865, and 867 North 40th Street, and a portion of the Sarah Allen urban renewal area identified by house numbers and street addresses as 818 and 830 North 40th Street, and authorizing the redevelopment authority to execute the redevelopment contract with North 40th Street LP and to take such action as may be necessary to effectuate the redevelopment contract.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council.
And an ordinance establishing a parking regulation on Green Street and North 40th Street, North 41st Street and Spring Garden Street, North 41st Street and Powelton Avenue, North 32nd Street and Haverford Avenue, Brandywine Street, and North 36th Street. And an ordinance authorizing...
Go ahead.
And an ordinance authorizing Rakabin Patel, owner and operator of the newsstand at the northwest corner of 30th and Market Streets, to construct, use, and maintain conduits in, under, and across the northwest corner of 30th and Market Streets for the purpose of supplying electrical service to said newsstand under certain terms and conditions. And an ordinance establishing a parking regulation on Hazel Avenue and South 55th Street, Cedar Avenue and South 51st Street, Cedar Avenue and South 55th Street, Hazel Avenue and South 46th Street, Hazel Avenue and South 47th Street, Hazel Avenue and South 48th Street, St. Bernard Street and Pine Street, St. Bernard Street and Spruce Street.
The following 3 bills will be referred to the appropriate committee. The chair recognizes Councilmember Thomas.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to the listening public. Today I have 1 resolution.
Will the clerk please read the title of the resolution?
Yes. A privileged resolution honoring and congratulating the champions of the week, the Lincoln University Lions, for winning the 2024 CIAA Food Lions Men's Basketball Tournament Championship.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer 1 privileged resolution.
Will the clerk please read the title of the privileged resolution?
A resolution honoring Dr. Kalila Johnson, principal of Overbrook High School, for her years of dedicated service to the students of West Philadelphia and further commemorating the story of Overbrook High School's success.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau.
Council President, can you skip me for 1 second? Thank you.
Sure. The chair recognizes Councilmember Ketty Lozada.
Good morning. Thank you, Council President. Today I offer 2 bills and 2 resolutions, 1 privileged and 1 non-privileged.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read the title of the bills and resolutions?
A privileged resolution honoring our Women's History Month heroes, Principals Sherry Arabia, Charlotte Gillum, Awilda Balbuena, Diana Garcia, Regina Tangi, Mama Tamika Bauman, Mama Marika Meekins, and Eric Green. These are 8 women in leadership who are dedicated to serving the children of the School District of Philadelphia, investing in a better Philadelphia for all.
This resolution will be placed on the day's final passage calendar.
And a non-privileged resolution authorizing the participation of Philadelphia in the 2024 cohort of the Pennsylvania Blueprint Communities Program.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for the consideration at our next session of council.
And an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Somerset Street, Orkney Street, Cumberland Street, and Fifth Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Allegheny Avenue, American Street, Lippincott Street, 2nd Street, Gurney Street, Indiana Avenue, 3rd Street, Gurney Street, Clearfield Street, and 5th Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young.
Good morning, Mr. President. I want to say hello to the students from Russell Byers. I represent that area, so this is who your council person is for your school. I have 3 bills and 1 resolution to introduce.
Will the clerk please read the titles of the 3 bills and 1 non-privileged resolution?
A non-privileged resolution authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to execute and deliver to the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority deeds conveying fee simple title.
This resolution will be placed on the final.
I'm not finished, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Fee simple title to 2903 Cecil B. Moore Avenue, 2907, 2925 Cecil B. Moore Avenue in the 5th Councilmanic District of the City of Philadelphia, and further authorizing the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority to transfer to the Philadelphia Land Bank fee simple title to such properties pursuant to Section 16-405 of the Philadelphia Code.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council.
And an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Parish Street between North 16th Street and North 17th Street, Perkiomen Street between Vineyard Street and North 19th Street, Grad Street between Jefferson Street and Harlan Street, Cambridge Street between North 30th Street to a dead end, Jefferson Street between North 18th Street and North 19th Street, Newkirk Street between Thompson Street and Stile Street, Brown Street between North 16th Street and North 15th Street, Saybird Street between North 24th Street and North 25th Street, Flores Street between North 29th Street and North 30th Street, Olive Street between Shirley Street and North 19th Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Watts Street between Cambria Street and Rush Street, Camac Street between Cambria Street and Glenwood Avenue, Cambria Street between North 13th Street to North 12th Street, Silver Street between North 13th Street and Broad Street, Rush Street between North 12th Street and North 13th Street, North 12th Street between Cambria Street and Somerset Street, Marvine Street between Susquehanna Avenue and Diamond Street, Thompson Street between North 27th Street and North 28th Street, Montgomery Avenue between Uber Street and North 20th Street, North 19th Street between Montgomery Street and Burke Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Bailey Street between Poplar Street and Parish Street, North 20th Street between Oxford Street and Jefferson Street, North 27th Street between Girard Avenue and Thompson Street, Folsom Street between North 18th Street and North 19th Street, Uber Street between Parish Street and Poplar Street, North 19th Street between Master Street and Jefferson Street, Harold Street between North 22nd and North 23rd Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau.
Thank you, Council President. Today I have 1 non-privileged resolution and 1 privileged resolution that I'm co-introducing with Councilmember Brooks.
Will the clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A non-privileged resolution calling on President Biden and Congress to prioritize a permanent reauthorization and funding of the Bipartisan Affordable Connectivity Program, ACP.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council.
And a privileged resolution recognizing March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility in the City of Philadelphia, a day to celebrate and recognize the achievements and contributions of transgender people and to lift up the joy, triumphs, and pride that transgender people experience and bring into our communities.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair now recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Good morning, Council President. I have 3 privileged resolutions to introduce today.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read the title of the privileged resolutions?
A resolution honoring the life, work, and dedication to teaching of Joanne Seaver, whose decades of community activism and constant presence as a teacher, tutor, and mentor for students, particularly students learning to read, has enriched and nourished the minds of young people across Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a resolution honoring and recognizing the life, work, and accomplishments of Mercedes Reyes, whose inspiring energy and insistence on creating safety, dignity, justice, and support for domestic workers in Philadelphia has protected and enriched the lives of people across the country.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And commending the work and life of Eva Gladstein, whose tireless efforts to make our city more just and our city government more efficient have improved the lives of all Philadelphians.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes birthday boy Councilmember Jim Harity.
I have one privileged resolution, Council President.
Will the clerk please read the title of the privileged resolution?
A resolution recognizing and honoring Officer Tommy Long Sr. on the occasion of his retirement from the Philadelphia Police Department, commending his commitment to law enforcement and public service after 37 years of employment with the City of Philadelphia and 33 years as a Philadelphia police officer.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Council will be at ease. If anyone here has their phone on ring, could you please put your phones on silent? Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity.
Hey, Council President, I just wanted to have Tony Long and his family stand up. They're here in the gallery. Tony, can you stand up?
Let's give him a round of applause.
He is accompanied by his wife and his two sons.
Very fine officer he is. I know Officer Long. Good job. The chair recognizes Councilmember Nicholas Nick O'Rourke.
Thank you, Council President. I have no bills or resolutions introduced today.
The chair recognizes birthday boy Councilmember Mike Driscoll.
Morning, Mr. President, and no bills or resolutions today.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Brian O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer one bill.
Will the clerk please read the title of the bill?
An ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Red Lion Road, the Montgomery County line, the Bucks County line, and Roosevelt Boulevard.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. The chair recognizes Councilmember Mark Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. No bills or resolutions today.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer one bill and one privileged resolution.
Will the clerk please read the title of the bill and the privileged resolution?
An ordinance authorizing the procurement commissioner to enter into a contract for the construction of a sewer and appurtenant work required to provide public sewer service in the 600 and 700 blocks of Hendren Street under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a privileged resolution honoring former Philadelphia Flyers All-Star Wayne Simmons, who, after playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, will retire as a Flyer after signing a ceremonial one-day contract with the team.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilmember Nina Ahmad.
Thank you, Council President. I have no bills or resolutions to offer.
The next order of business is reports from committees. The chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a report from the Committee on Commerce and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Committee on Commerce and Economic Development reports out two bills with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Will the chief clerk please read the report?
To the President and members of the Council of the City of Philadelphia, The Committee on Commerce and Economic Development, to which was referred Bill Number 240019, entitled Adopting an Amendment to Section V, Section 5 of the Articles of Incorporation of the Philadelphia Authority for Industrial Development by increasing the authority's term of existence to a date 50 years from the date of approval of Articles of Amendment by the Secretary of the Commonwealth under certain terms and conditions, respectfully reports it has considered the same and returns the attached bill to council with a favorable recommendation. And the Committee on Commerce and Economic Development, to which was referred Bill Number 240087, entitled Amending Chapter 9-600 of the Philadelphia Code, entitled Service and Other Businesses, by adding a new section regulating the operation of establishments, providing tax preparation services, and providing for remedies, all under certain terms and conditions, respectfully reports it has considered the same and returns the attached bill to council with a favorable recommendation.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the rules of council be suspended as to permit first reading this bill today for numbers 240019, 240008, and 240087.
Second.
They were just read into the record by the chief clerk.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the rules of council be suspended so as to permit first reading this day of bill number 240019 and 240087. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Bills numbers 240019 and 240087 will be placed on our first reading calendar for today. The next order of business is the consideration of the calendar. I note that the bills just reported from committee with the suspension of rules have been deemed to have had a first reading. These bills will be placed on the second reading and final passage calendar for our next session of council. As there are no additional bills on the first reading calendar, the chair recognizes Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson for the purpose of calling up bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendars.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following bills and resolutions are on the second reading and final passage calendar for today. Numbers 240194, 240195, 240196, 240200, 240020-A, 240066, 240010-A, 240008, 240009, 240011, 240089-A, and 240013-A.
Thank you. Before considering these bills and resolutions, we will consider public comment as follows. Your public comment must concern matters on the second reading and final passage calendars for possible action at today's council session. All speakers must sign up in order to testify. If you have not already signed up for today's session, please do so now by giving your name to Ms. Hassan at the table outside the rails to my left. Once you have signed up, you will be called in the order in which your name appears on the sign-up sheet. Under ideal circumstances, public commenters each will have 3 minutes to speak. However, this time limit may vary from session to session. Today's time limit will be 2 minutes based upon the value of individuals who will be commenting on public comment today. In order to be fair to all those wishing to speak, I intend to hold faithfully to the 2-minute limit. When you begin speaking, you will see a green light on the podium. When there are 30 seconds remaining to your time, the light will turn yellow, which is your reminder to conclude your remarks. Once 2 minutes have passed, the light will turn red, and the sergeant at arms will disconnect the microphone. At that point, please yield the podium to the next speaker if you had not done so already. I also reserve the right pursuant to our rules of council to limit repetitious comments on the same manner. I would now ask the chief clerk to please read the name of our first speaker.
Councilwoman Janie Blackwell.
Would the Honorable Janie Blackwell please take the microphone?
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to Mr. President, all members of council. As always, I thank God for the privilege of being here with all of you. To say thank you to Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson, for all her years of service in Southwest Philadelphia and our city. She still continues to give block parties, serve food, do all the community services, help businesses that all of us, especially we from the old school, know and enjoy. All I can say to her is we love you, we appreciate you, we thank you for your years of service. Now, Mr. President, I'd like to take advantage of another opportunity. You know, I came here with Lucian Blackwell during Rizzo days. I'm talking January 76, so I've been around a little while. I'm as at home here as I am anywhere. And I would be remiss if I didn't say to Tony Long and his lovely wife, we love you, we thank you. I am so grateful that you're being honored for all your years of service. And we love Tony. To know him is to love him. And for all that he's done, I think we all consider him a friend as much as we do our wonderful officers. So God bless him and his lovely wife. Thank you, all members, and thank you for allowing me to mention 2 issues. Thank you.
Will the clerk please call the next speaker?
Speaking on trans visibility.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jasper Leem. I use they and he pronouns interchangeably. I am the first transgender executive director at the Attic Youth Center, Philadelphia's only independent LGBT youth program. For 30 years, the Attic has provided support for trans and gender nonconforming youth in this city, particularly those of color. Even in this fine city of Philadelphia, our trans community has endured inequities of being marginalized, often unseen until our community siblings are taken in acts of violence. Trans Day of Visibility is just one day, but we have been here fighting for our lives every day. It reminds us that we are visible, not just for being transgender, but also for being people whose stories extend in every direction. I am proudly trans, and I am proudly Chinese Indonesian, and I am proudly someone who has survived the inequities of our city because I was extremely lucky, and because this city's harm reduction efforts, our public health, and the protections that our city has provided us have saved my life. Because beyond Trans Day of Visibility, we must remember that one Philly means all of us and every part of who we are, every skin tone, every socioeconomic class, and every gender. I commend our city for its efforts, and I look forward to continuing our protections. Thank you.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Brianna Hollies on trans visibility. Esther Sentasil on trans visibility.
Hello, my name is Esther Sentasil. I am a 15-year-old transgender girl living here in Philadelphia, and I go by she, her pronouns. As we are awaiting Transgender Day of Visibility on Sunday, it's important to celebrate the lives of trans people and accomplishments that they present to the world. However, it is also a good thing to understand the struggles that transgender lives face on a daily basis. According to the Human Rights Campaign, over 220 anti-trans and non-binary bills have been introduced in state legislatures, which is an astronomical record. Not only this, but 321 transgender or gender diverse lives have been killed from October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2023, according to Transgender Europe. Every single day, people under the transgender umbrella get bullied, mocked, hate crimed, killed, denied resources that help them live, and more. This can lead to many mental health issues, which can induce self-harm urges and suicidal thoughts. As a trans person myself, I have dealt with a lot of transphobia on the internet and in person. I have people call me slurs, belittle me, and make me think of myself as a smaller person because of my identity. I go out on the sidewalk that people commute with while having a feeling like I have all eyes around me because of how I dress, act, talk, and more, while hoping I can just get to my destination safely while being myself. I question myself because of this, and I ask myself, what if they're right about me, and what if they're right about what they say I am? Well, the answer is I'm not. Just because I'm not afraid to express myself as who I want to be does not mean that I'm following people's wishes. It's because it was never about other people and it was about me. I grew up thinking that there was something wrong with me, but by the years going on, the love that I've received from people, it helped me learn that I'm more than just my identity. With this, I would like for everyone to always give people in the transgender community kindness, as well as everyone else in the LGBTQIA community. With all the stigma and hate against people in the world, even just a compliment could really make someone's day. Please tell your transgender friends and family that you love them and that you see them this Transgender Day of Visibility. Protect transgender youth and adults. Thank you.
Will the clerk please call the next speaker?
Brayton Goffin on transvisibility. Kate Rivera on affordable connectivity program.
Good morning. My name is Kate Rivera. I'm the Executive Director of the Technology Learning Collaborative, and I'm speaking today in favor of the resolution introduced by Councilmember Landau in favor of the Affordable Connectivity Program. The Technology Learning Collaborative, or TLC, is a coalition of organizations and individuals working to advance digital equity in the Philadelphia area. Quality, reliable, and affordable internet is essential for participation in today's society, providing access to education, employment, housing, benefits, health information, social connection, and so much more. The ACP has been a critical tool to advance digital equity, connecting nearly 200,000 Philadelphia households to affordable internet. If ACP is not funded, these households will be at risk of losing service or will be forced to make difficult budgeting decisions between internet and other necessities such as food. We know the burden of poor connectivity falls disproportionately on vulnerable populations. Philadelphia's 2021 Home Internet Assessment found that 29% of low-income households, 33% of seniors, and 33% of Spanish-speaking households lacked home broadband. We describe digital equity as a three-legged stool, so in addition to internet access, the other pieces are a device appropriate to the individual's needs and the digital skills necessary to achieve their goals. Philadelphia has made significant strides towards achieving digital equity and has been recognized as a visionary trailblazer nationally for this work, but there's much more to do. So I thank Councilmember Landau for introducing this resolution. I also want to thank Councilmember Squilla for his work on digital equity as a member of the city's Digital Literacy Alliance, and I urge all council members to consider how we can do more to make sure residents are not disconnected if ACP ends, and to work toward making Philadelphia a more digitally inclusive community. Thank you.
Thank you. The clerk, please call the next speaker.
Dr. Minnie Ruth Moore. Harris Metzer. Scott Thompson.
Scott Thompson. Good morning. Drivers hiding their license plates from the police and traffic cameras is a big problem, so I strongly support Bill 2489 that prohibits license plate flipping devices, and I thank the council for its action on this. I think this bill is a great start, but it doesn't go nearly far enough. The council should expand on this bill to include all the other ways that drivers illegally hide their license plates, which are much more common than the flipping devices, but equally egregious. This includes things like putting a dark tinted cover over the plate, using a sticker or badge to cover up some of the letters on the plate, covering it with an obviously fake or expired temporary tag, or just taking a hammer and scraping the paint off. Cars with obscured plates are everywhere in Philly. And this is not some small ticky-tack offense like an inspection that's a few days expired. These drivers are very intentionally going out of their way to hide their identity from the cops so they can speed through our neighborhoods and run red lights and avoid paying tolls. I'm excited about the new speed cameras the council is considering, but unless we put a stop to this, drivers will just slap a tinted cover on their plate and keep on speeding. New York City recently did an audit and found that $100 million per year of speeding camera fines are being evaded by drivers who obscure their license plates. Again, this is not a senior citizen running late to a doctor's appointment. These are repeat offenders defacing their cars so they can essentially opt out of following the traffic laws that the rest of us do. And unfortunately, cars with covered plates are often used in much more serious crimes like hit and runs and shootings, including the recent horrific shooting at the SEPTA stop a few weeks ago. When so many drivers are covering up their plates, it makes it really easy for the bad guys to do it too. Mayor Parker pledged to make Philly the safest, cleanest, greenest big city in America, but every car with an obscured plate on the streets is a billboard that says crime and disorder are tolerated here, and seeing these drivers get away with it makes regular people feel like a schmuck for following the rules. That's not the Philly I want my kids to grow up in. It won't fix everything, but some additional action to enforce this would send a strong message. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the legendary, outstanding leader, Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson.
Good morning. Thank you all for having me. I am so blessed. I'm extremely blessed that I am being considered for this honor. I'm a little weak right now, but I just want to let you know that my heart is full. I am so grateful to the city of Philadelphia and for Jamie Blackwell, who has worked very hard to accomplish this for me. But it's really moving for me because it is something that I have. This is not what I do. This is who I am. And I really believe in my heart that if everyone followed God's mandates and just fed the hungry, housed the homeless, go visit the sick, take care of the widows and the orphans, if you can do any part of that, you will be successful in life, and all the things that one day receiving an award for doing what God has asked us to do is not going to happen. It's going to be happening. We're going to be so full of the city of Philadelphia and the world just doing the things that we've been asked to do, and there's not going to be a need for anyone to be honored for it. Everybody's going to be doing it. Thank you, Kenyatta. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you all for everything that you have done to make sure that my last days doing what I have to do for God is successful. Thank you.
Congratulations. And Dr. Moore, I just want to personally say thank you for investing in me as a young man and shaping and helping me become the person who I am today. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Will the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Kate Perez.
Last week, when I was here, 3 officials blocked the doors to the 4th floor. They said it was closed to the public and there'd be no public speaking. I waited upstairs, and when you called for public comment to speak, you knew I was there, you knew I was coming, and you voted to hear me speak this week. I think I should be allowed my full 2 minutes this time to talk about Palestine. You have not once made time for
Ms.
it.
Perez, could we just speak what's on the actual bill, if you don't mind?
I've tried to meet with you, President. I've tried to meet with you. I've tried to meet with you. Everyone's ignoring Palestine. The least you can do is listen to her message as this child begs for her life on Instagram.
Thank you.
She says, I don't want.
Could the clerk please call the next person for public comment? Would the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Nicole Kligerman.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Curtis Jones.
We have to do better. This is a forum, and we have to follow our protocol of who and how people speak to things, but we need to create a forum where we privately listen to what she has to say. It is the month of Ramadan, and I'm a team player. I really am. I try to be, but when there is something egregious that is happening, we at this body, I don't want to fight the Middle East war here in City Council, but doggone it, we have to be fair. And she comes every week, tries to be heard, and we shut her down. That's got to stop. Or I will introduce a bill to allow her to speak. We can do it privately, or we can do it real public. It is up to this body, but we will not ignore it, not another week. Thank you, Mr. President.
But just for the record, right, for any bill that comes in front of council, right, it's part of our rules, right? And all due respect, in terms of speaking on issues that's germane to the topic that's on the floor, right, it's part of the rules. And that's how this process has always been, whether it's on this topic or on the other topic. Now, however, if individual council members want to have a specific conversation with the young lady or anyone else who comes to speak on the topic of the issue that's not on the calendar, they have the right to do so. In all due respect, if individuals want to introduce legislation as it relates to a topic that a member want to speak on, they have the right to do so as well. All we're doing is not shutting individuals down by speaking on what's introduced based upon the rules for the record. That's it. The chair recognizes Councilmember Phillips.
Listen, I just want to say for the record that, our council president has been really doing well, a great job, not only to get us starting on time, but making sure people's voices are heard. Council President Johnson has done a tremendous job with not only making sure that Philadelphia City Council members are not just within the halls of City Council, but they're in neighborhoods and bringing us resources so that we can have town halls as well as other endeavors so that neighbors can hear us. So I want the entire city of Philadelphia to know that public comment is important, not only to me and the rest of the city council members, but to this council president. And so with that being said, I want to be very clear that if anyone wants to have a private conversation with me, I'm open to it. My doors are always open. I'm in neighborhoods on a daily basis. And I also want to let us know that it's very important for us to understand that we're a collective here, we're a team, and what we understand is that public comment is something that we all really, really care about, and I know my council president cares about it as well. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Council President. Per the rules of council, your public comment must concern matters on the second reading and final passage calendars for possible action at today's council session. With that, Mr. President, I call for the orders of the day.
The chair recognizes Councilman Curtis Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is not about, usually when they say all due respect, the disrespect is coming.
This is what we're going to do.
I had the mic.
Councilman Curtis Jones.
When you call for the orders of the day, is no debate. When you call for the orders of the day, is no debate. So that's with all due respect, Councilmember Jones.
This is what we're going to do. Councilman Jones.
Yes.
Because she is, according to the rules, she's calling for the orders of the day, right? Will the clerk please call the next speaker?
Nicole Kligerman.
Hi, I'm Nicole Kligerman. I'm with the National Domestic Workers Alliance. I'm going to read in Spanish the resolution put forward by Council Member Brooks and Council President Johnson. Honrando y reconociendo la vida, el trabajo y los logros de Mercedes Reyes, cuya energía inspiradora e insistencia en crear un espacio de seguridad, dignidad, justicia y apoyo para las trabajadoras del hogar en Filadelfia ha protegido y enriquecido las vidas de personas en todo el país. Considerando que Mercedes Reyes nació en El Salvador y comenzó a trabajar como trabajadora del hogar allí cuando tenía 11 años, llegando a Filadelfia durante la Guerra Civil de El Salvador, desde entonces ha trabajado con niños, limpiando casas y convivido con familias realizando labores domésticas, al mismo tiempo que cuidaba a su grande familia, y considerando que mientras realizaba el trabajo del hogar en Filadelfia, Mercedes ha sufrido abusos laborales, le pagaban tan solo $2 por hora durante los 14 años en que trabajó, donde vivía, donde trabajaba. Se ha enfrentado al robo de salarios, la discriminación, la falta total de seguridad de salud y otros apoyos. Ha sido una líder comunitaria que ha abogado contra muchos problemas, centrándose especialmente en la mejora de las trabajadoras del hogar y en su vecindario. Es una de las líderes de la Alianza Nacional de Trabajadoras del Hogar, capítulo en Pensilvania.
desempeñó un papel deciso en la victoria de la Carta de Derechos, ha hablado con docenas de funcionarios electos y con la prensa y ha ofrecido su testimonio mientras organizaba a docenas de trabajadoras del hogar. Y la Carta de Derechos de las Trabajadoras del Hogar fue un logro sin precedentes y sirvió de ejemplo a ciudades en todo el país para proteger a las trabajadoras. Mercedes ha seguido trabajando por la mejora de estas protecciones y la comunidad se reúne en la Casa de Mercedes para todo. Mercedes es una líder en su iglesia y conocida por su constante sonrisa y gracia. Y después de más de 70 años realizando el trabajo del hogar, Mercedes se jubiló recientemente a la edad de 82 años. Dejó un legado extraordinario a la industria del trabajo del hogar por su compromiso a la lucha para mejores condiciones y trato equitativo para las trabajadoras del hogar. Mercedes continúa luchando por la próxima generación de trabajadoras del hogar y resuelva que el Consejo Municipal de la Ciudad de Filadelfia honra y reconoce la vida y el trabajo y los logros de Mercedes Reyes, y una copia en relieve de esta resolución se entrega a Mercedes Reyes como expresión de la admiración y el respeto de este cuerpo legislativo.
Will the clerk please call the next speaker?
Lynn Landis.
Good morning, I'm Lynn Landis of SafeStreetsPhilly.org, but also of lynnlandis.org. And because the subject has turned to public comments, I do want to say that my attorney, George Paquetto, has sent you a letter about your violations of the Sunshine Act, and we do intend to take you to court if these are not corrected. You are not allowed, under the Sunshine Act, to limit comments to agenda items only. You are also not allowed to add bills and resolutions at the beginning of the meeting that are not already on the agenda so that we can make informed comments. I just want to say that. And you can find it on my website later on today, that letter that was sent to all of you at Lynn Landis, LYNNLANDES.com. Thank you very much.
Will the clerk please call the next speaker?
Sandra Spite.
Will the clerk please call the next speaker?
Jeremy Blatstein.
Good morning.
Good morning,
My name
Ms.
is
Spite.
Sandra Spate, and I'm here on the ACP resolution. ACP is set to end the end of April, and it is a very important factor in internet reception. I'm a senior, and just to get television, you have to have internet Wi-Fi. And as a senior, you're on a fixed income, and this is a much-needed bill, and Congress is going to try to end it by the end of April. And I am asking everyone to please get behind this bill and try to make them understand that seniors and people that are on fixed incomes really need it. And I want to thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Will the chair please call the next speaker?
Jeremy Blatstein.
Hello, City Council. My name's Jeremy Bladstein. Should I drop my website or my Twitter handle at nextphlmayor if you want to know? But I'm talking in regards to two bills that are disposing of land from the Philadelphia Land Bank today. They're great. It's good. Housing coming out of, lots coming out of the land bank for housing is a good thing. Streamlining that process needs to improve. But what I want to talk about today is the Turn the Key program. Most of you in this room voted for it. The education surrounding Turn the Key has been lacking. I don't believe that it should just fall on the developers to educate the public about Turn the Key and who this program was intended to help. As lots are moved for Turn the Key, the sale price can be $280,000. There's a $75,000 second mortgage that comes along with that drops the sale price down to about $200,000, right, $205,000. There's some other money that is given out by the banks, $5,000 to $10,000, that drops that price even further down. The average AMI of the people buying these homes, of the 100 that have been sold so far, is 57% AMI. That is insane and is the point of this program. And to try to then say, well, can we get it down lower? Unfortunately, no. Without other public subsidy, the program won't work. So if you want to say, okay, you want to make these sale prices $200,000, but you don't want to have any other subsidy, it makes it very difficult. And if you want to help minority developers get involved in development, trying to put that on them is also insane. The margins are already close, so if you want these people to be successful, support the $280,000 sale price and build some homes. Thank you.
Chair, please call the next speaker.
Brayton Golphin.
Chair, please call the next speaker.
Obana Haggins.
Great morning, everyone. Obona Haggins. I'm the unseated member of City Council. Obona Haggins, OGBONNA. This resolution in regards to the gun violence prevention, this is more aspirin for a brain tumor, more aspirin for a brain tumor. The same way that you wouldn't give someone with a brain tumor an aspirin, why are we giving these aspirin solutions for gun violence? Your study, the Roadmap to Safer Communities, and you're on your phone while I'm talking to you, so you're not paying attention, Councilman. Councilman, you're on your phone and you're not listening to me. Councilman, you're not listening to me. You're disrespecting me. That's what the slave masters did during slavery when black people were trying to get attention. Pay attention to what your constituents are saying. Now I am, but he's ignoring. I'm talking to the council members and they're not paying any attention to me. So now, the study said that in order to eliminate gun violence, there needs to be large-scale investments in the areas that have been decimated by crime, violence, unemployment. Your study said that. And your study also said that this city is structurally racist, as we saw with the example of the councilman who's still on his phone. So listen, the structural racism bill that I gave you, I expect this body in the next 7 days to meet collectively to go over this legislation that I spent my time with my team to answer the question of the roadmap to safer communities. You said it needed large-scale investments. You said it was structurally racist, Council President. What's up? Y'all not addressing structural racism? Not even addressing structural racism is structurally racist. Obona Haggins, your unseated council member.
Will the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Brayton Golphin. Brayton Golphin.
Hi, can everyone hear me? My name is Brayton Golphin, and I'm speaking in support of the resolution for Trans Day of Visibility. So I want to say thank you for council for that. But I also hope that this is not the first step in making sure that we are better protected in the city. Now, I'm very fully aware that we do have an emergency order declaring Philadelphia a sanctuary city when it comes to our health care, but what we really need is a bill. Because the folks in this state, outside of Pennsylvania, they're not playing around. They're looking to revoke our health care at any moment on the state level. So I hope, even though we do have this emergency order, and even though I highly doubt that Cheryl Parker is going to take that away. A bill would be of more precedence. I also wanted to highlight what has happened recently as it relates to, funding no longer, I am so sorry, I'm tongue-tied. Our city no longer funding safe needle exchanges. A narrative that was completely ripped from this is that it's not just folks who are struggling with addictions that depend on safe needle exchange, it's folks in the trans community as well. When we get hormones, and I'm saying this as someone that is on HRT, when we get hormones, we either get gel or a patch or needles. Sometimes we are not provided needles because certain nonprofits run out or certain pharmacies don't have them. So where do we go to? We go to these places such as Prevention Point or Savage Sisters Recovery or who else that is offering it. Just understand that if you get rid of safe injection sites, not safe injection sites, safe needle exchanges from our city, HIV, hepatitis, and all these illnesses will increase, but also a lot of us will not have access for HRT, because how are we supposed to inject it? How are we supposed to inject ourselves with our, yeah. Right. So I just wanted to say and highlight that. And also, I would like for the city to officially call a ceasefire. Thank you.
Thank you. Will the chair call the next person for public comment?
Charlotte Gillum.
Good morning. My name is Charlotte Gillum, and I am the proud principal of Lewis Elkin Elementary. Good morning, Council President. Good morning, Council. Good morning, students. It is an honor to be recognized today as part of the resolution during Women's History Month to recognize the work that my colleagues and I do as school leaders in the Kensington community. Councilwoman Lozada is a true friend of Elkin and a true friend of Kensington. The district and the city began the Kensington Collaborative that we like to call the Opioid Task Force back in 2017, and it has been an honor to be part of that work. I am proud that over the last 7 years, I now see light at the end of this arduous tunnel. I have two quick stories, based off of the work that I do as a Kensington school leader. It just happened on Monday. A fourth grade girl coming to my office crying because her teacher said that she was being very disrespectful. Through her tears, she shared that she is tired and scared because she has to walk to school in disguise because there are people out to hurt her to send a message to her brother. We know that that happens all of the time. She's a fourth grader. I have another story about children who see domestic issues at home, things that they should not even witness on TV, let alone in the kitchen of their own home, and as a result, have to then come into school to learn. I think I'm in front of people who have influence over budget, and if that is you, I encourage you, anytime that you have anything before you with mental health supports for our schools and our children, please stand behind that. If you have some also information and influence over safe passages, please stand behind that. Thank you, everyone. Good morning.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Erica Green.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Erica Green, and I am so proud to be here today. This morning, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Council Member Ketsi Lozada, a woman of a tenacious spirit who is laser-focused. She has vision, integrity, intellect, fortitude, and a compassionate heart to serve the children and families in Kensington and in the school district of Philadelphia. I am truly humbled as a school leader to be here for Women's History Month. I am a proud Philadelphia native, and it brings me great joy to be honored by Council Member Ketsi Lozada with the other women who serve in the School District of Philadelphia or in another capacity with the Archdiocese, because we're all doing this work for young people. And I just want to say that these women serve in very difficult roles in the heart of the open-air drug market in Kensington, which can no longer be ignored. When I stand here for children of Conwell and in Kensington, I stand for all children in Philadelphia. We need to do what is right, just, and fair for kids. In the words of Dr. Constance E. Clayton, every day when we get up, we need to serve children, we need to champion for children, and it cannot just be words. We see a living testimony of them standing here representing their school, Russell Byers Charter. So it's a remarkable time to be a woman in Philadelphia with the first female mayor, Sherelle Parker, and 7 females serving on city council. So Councilmember Lozada, today I say that my heart beams with pride, and may you always be blessed for the true heart that you have for children and of service. You are a woman of your word, and you are a woman of action. Thank you, Councilman President Johnson and the members today.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Awilda Balbuena.
I think so. Good morning, Mr. President, and all of the members of City Council. I am very appreciative of this opportunity to address you all. My name is Awilda Aguila Balbuena, and I'm in my 14th year as the principal of Gloria Cáceres Elementary School, located on the corner of G in Ontario, which has proudly been named after a very fearless advocate for all of those living in Kensington, the homeless, and the LGBTQ+ community. I'm certain her voice was heard in these same walls as the first ever director of the LGBTQ+ office here at City Hall under Mayor Nutter. So here I am, having my voice heard during Women's History Month. I had not planned to speak here today, but whenever given an opportunity and given a platform to speak on behalf of my school community, also known as my second family, I am honored to do so. Our ask is, this is coming from my school community, we ask that you see us, that you show us we matter, and help us to feel like we belong to this big city. I am extending an invitation to all of you to come walk the streets, the same paths my students have to walk to get to school each day. And come meet my families, take a tour of my building, but most importantly, come speak to our students. They know what they need. And we sit in little conference rooms and the adults are talking, but we're not listening to our kids. Please come on out. You're invited at any given time. Don't call, just ring the doorbell, show your ID, and you're always welcomed at Gloria Cáceres Elementary School. Thank you.
Will the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Velda Wilson. Francis Harrison. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Camp. I just want to say that Dr. Minnie Johnson has been a great inspiration, and she truly deserves her street being named after her, Woodland Avenue. She has been such a blessing to the community and to myself and my business and anyone that she touches.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the next person for public comment?
Francis Harrison.
Good morning, President, and good morning, Council. My name is Frances Harrison. I am the oldest daughter of Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson. And I'm just so honored today for you guys and not. But what I want to do is just give you a glimpse of what it was like as a child growing up with her. And as a child, you don't understand why Mom would go in the freezer when we didn't have much to feed other people. You don't understand why she would tell us to share our clothes and share our toys with others. And so for someone who felt like we had little, we really didn't understand that we had much and someone was less fortunate than what we had. And so during those times, it was hard for me, my brothers and my sisters, to wrap around the fact that she would just go shopping and then go take food out the freezer and make a bag for someone else. It just never dawned on us how important it was to love our neighbor and take care of those who was less fortunate. Today, I just want to stand here for my siblings. My mother is 84 years old, and she is yet still serving the community. Thank you. My brother, Roland Bowles, who is the president of Concerned Parents Incorporated, my sister Kimberly Eichert, my brother Michael Singletary, and my brother who actually just passed away, he would have been 50 on March the 18th, Barry Bowles. We all had the honor to help her serve the community, and for that, I am a better person. I know how to give from the heart and a impeccable work ethic and have standards and integrity. And if we love our neighbor as ourselves, we won't do harm to them because you won't hurt yourself. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Will the clerk please call the next speaker?
Greg Benjamin.
Welcome, Mr. Benjamin.
Good morning, Council President, President Johnson, to the members of City Council, to those in attendance. Today, I'm privileged to be here in acknowledgement of Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson. Thought about it real quick, and I came to the conclusion that there can be a privilege attached to memories. Today, there are memories attached to knowing Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson. Those memories are associated and go back as far as when I was a much younger person, having to go to Wyalusing Avenue with my sister, and Minnie was my babysitter. Now, of course, I was an old baby, okay? But Minnie was my babysitter. I also wanted to just have in that memory of those individuals like Dr. Johnson who were warriors for the community. And having had an opportunity to experience grassroots politics and grassroots community organizing, I had the opportunity to watch people like Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson from the grassroots level, and it was an awesome experience. And just in final thought, I just wanted to say how humbled I am in being able to stand here in acknowledgement of Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson as the ward leader of the 51st Ward, realizing that it was the work efforts of people like Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson, and of course our councilwoman here, and that made it possible for us to get in where we were locked out of as young black boys at that time. So I'm honored to be a ward leader, and I'm honored to be able to acknowledge Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson. And I tell you, I just want to give you a clap myself if nobody else does, because this is your day. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any other?
There are no other names for public comment.
Thank you very much. We will now consider the bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendar. Will the clerk please read the title of resolution number 240194?
A resolution urging the Pennsylvania General Assembly to allocate full funding for Governor Shapiro's proposed Office of Gun Violence Prevention and the anti-violence initiatives that the office would coordinate to address the epidemic of gun violence across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
The chair recognizes Councilman Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion regarding resolution number 240194.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 240194 be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. The clerk will please read the title of resolution number 240195.
A resolution also naming the 5400 block of Woodland Avenue as Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson Way to honor the life and legacy of community service of Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson to the city of Philadelphia.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Jamie Gardier for a motion regarding resolution number 240195.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 240195 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of resolution number 240196?
A resolution authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to execute and deliver to the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority deeds conveying fee simple title to 809, 827, 830, 843, 847, 849, 851, 865, 867 North 40th Street, 1105, 1115 North 41st Street, 607 and 625 North 53rd Street, 3927, 3946, 3948 Folsom Street in the 3rd Councilmanic District of the City of Philadelphia, and further authorizing the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority to transfer to the Philadelphia Land Bank fee simple title to such properties pursuant to Section 16-405 of the Philadelphia Code.
The chair recognizes Councilman Jamie Gardier for a motion regarding resolution number 240196.
Thank you, Council President. I call for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 240196 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of resolution number 240200?
A resolution authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to execute and deliver to the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority deeds conveying fee simple title to 61, 65, 77, 23, 24, 44, 49, 51, 53, 55, 57, 67, 73, 78, 89, 93, and 106 East Ashmead Street, 18, 34, 61, and 87 Column Street, 69, 71, 89, 91, 93, and 95 East Worcester Street in the 8th Councilmanic District of the City of Philadelphia, and further authorizing the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority to transfer to the Philadelphia Land Bank fee simple title to such properties pursuant to Section 16-405 of the Philadelphia Code.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Bass for a motion regarding resolution number 240200.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 240200 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of bill number 240010-A?
An ordinance amending Chapter 9-5900 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Prohibition on Certain Gambling Machines and Skills Games to add additional prohibitions and provide for remedies, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ahmad? Councilmember Bass? Councilmember Brooks? Councilmember Driscoll? Councilmember Gautier? Councilmember Gilmore Richardson? Councilmember Harity? Councilmember Jones? Councilmember Landau? Councilmember Losada? Councilmember O'Neill? Councilmember O'Rourke? Councilmember Phillips? Councilmember Squilla? Councilmember Thomas? Councilmember Young? And Council President Johnson.
Aye. The ayes are 17, the nays are 0. A majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Will the clerk please read the title of Bill number 240008?
An ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Ainsley Street and Vaux Street and Conrad Street, Calumet Street and Dobson Street.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? The chief clerk will please call the roll.
Councilmember Ahmad? Councilmember Bass? Councilmember Brooks? Councilmember Driscoll? Councilmember Gautier? Councilmember Gilmore Richardson? Councilmember Harity? Councilmember Jones? Councilmember Landau? Councilmember Losada? Councilmember O'Neill? Councilmember O'Rourke? Councilmember Phillips? Councilmember Squilla? Councilmember Thomas? Councilmember Young? And Council President Johnson.
Aye. The ayes are 17, the nays are 0. A majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Will the clerk please read the title of Bill number 240009?
An ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Gross Street and Arch Street, Dewey Street and Market Street, Arch Street to North 57th Street, North 61st Street between Arch Street and Ray Street, North 57th Street and Market Street.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Will the chief clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ahmad? Councilmember Bass? Councilmember Brooks? Councilmember Driscoll? Councilmember Gautier? Councilmember Gilmore Richardson? Councilmember Harity? Councilmember Jones? Councilmember Landau? Councilmember Losada? Councilmember O'Neill? Councilmember O'Rourke? Councilmember Phillips? Councilmember Squilla? Councilmember Thomas? Councilmember Young? And Council President Johnson.
Aye. The ayes are 17, the nays are 0. A majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Will the clerk please read the title of Bill number 240011?
An ordinance establishing parking regulations in the vicinity of Pekin Street, Green Lane, and Markle Street, Umbria and Lamonte Street, Manayunk Avenue to Hermit Street, Seville Street to Terrace Street, Salniak Street and Pekin Street, Rector and Pekin Street, Fountain Street, and Smick Street.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? The chief clerk will please call the roll.
Councilmember Ahmad? Councilmember Bass? Councilmember Brooks? Councilmember Driscoll? Councilmember Gautier? Councilmember Gilmore Richardson? Councilmember Harity? Councilmember Jones? Councilmember Landau? Councilmember Losada? Councilmember O'Neill? Councilmember O'Rourke? Councilmember Phillips? Councilmember Squilla? Councilmember Thomas? Councilmember Young? And Council President Johnson.
Aye. The ayes are 17, the nays are 0. A majority of all members having been voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Will the clerk please read the title of Bill number 240089-A?
An ordinance amending Title 12 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Traffic Code by providing for prohibitions relating to license plate flipping devices and for penalties and enforcement, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? The chief clerk will please call the roll.
Councilmember Ahmad? Councilmember Bass? Councilmember Brooks? Councilmember Driscoll? Councilmember Gautier? Councilmember Gilmore Richardson? Councilmember Harity. Councilmember Jones. Councilmember Landau. Councilmember Losada. Councilmember O'Neill. Councilmember O'Rourke. Councilmember Phillips. Councilmember Squilla. Councilmember Thomas. Councilmember Young. And Council President Johnson.
Aye. The ayes are 17, the nays are 0. A majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Will the clerk please read the title of Bill Number 240013-A?
An ordinance amending Chapter 9-600 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Service and Other Businesses by adding a new section regulating the hours of operation of certain establishments and providing for penalties within an area bounded by East Lehigh Avenue, Kensington Avenue, D Street, East Tioga Street, and Frankfurt Avenue, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? The chief clerk will please call the roll.
Councilmember Ahmad? Councilmember Bass? Councilmember Brooks? Councilmember Driscoll? Councilmember Gautier? Councilmember Gilmore Richardson? Councilmember Harity? Councilmember Jones? Councilmember Landau? Councilmember Losada? Councilmember O'Neill? Councilmember O'Rourke? Councilmember Phillips? Councilmember Squilla? Councilmember Thomas? Councilmember Young? And Council President Johnson.
Aye. The ayes are 17, the nays are 0. A majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Will the clerk please read any additional resolutions on today's final passage calendar?
A privileged resolution honoring Super Bowl champion Fletcher Cox on the occasion of his retirement from the National Football League and recognizing Fletcher's historic career with the Philadelphia Eagles, introduced by Councilmember Gilmore Richardson for Council President Johnson.
The chair recognizes Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. On your behalf, I move the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring and congratulating the champions of the week, the Lincoln University Lions, for winning the 2024 CIAA Food Lions Men's Basketball Tournament Championship, introduced by Councilmember Thomas.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Thomas for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I want to say congratulations to one of our amazing HBCUs in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. For those who don't know, this is a historic win, and I'm excited to move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the next title of the resolution? The chair recognizes Councilmember Thomas first.
Yep, I'm sorry. Now that the resolution has passed, I want to say thank you to my colleagues and also extend the invitation to the Lincoln University program to join us as City Council so we can celebrate the historic win. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring Dr. Kalila Johnson, principal of Overbrook High School, for her years of dedicated service to the students of West Philadelphia and further commemorating the story of Overbrook High School's success, introduced by Councilmember Jones.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Jones for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the next title of the resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring our Women's History Month heroes, Principals Sherry Arabia, Charlotte Gillum, Aguida Balbuena, Diana Garcia, Regina Tangi, Mama Tamika Bowman, Mama Marika Meekins, and Erica Green. These are 8 women in leadership who are dedicated to serving the children of the School District of Philadelphia, investing in a better Philadelphia for all, introduced by Councilmember Losada.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Ketzi Lozada.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the next title of the resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility in the City of Philadelphia, a day to celebrate and recognize the achievements and contributions of transgender people and to lift up the joy, triumphs, and pride that transgender people experience and bring into our communities. Introduced by Council Members Rue Landau and Councilmember Brooks.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Rue Landau.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring the life, work, and dedication to teaching of Joanne Seaver, whose decades of community activism and constant presence as a teacher, tutor, and mentor for students, particularly students learning to read, has enriched and nourished the minds of young people across Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Brooks.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing the life, work, and accomplishments of Mercedes Reyes, whose inspiring energy and insistence on creating safety, dignity, justice, and support for domestic workers in Philadelphia has protected and enriched the lives of people across the country, introduced by Councilmember Brooks.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution commending the work and life of Eva Gladstein, whose tireless efforts to make our city more just and our city government more efficient have improved the lives of all Philadelphians, introduced by Councilmember Brooks.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing and honoring Officer Tony Long Sr. on the occasion of his retirement from the Philadelphia Police Department, commending his commitment to law enforcement and public service after 37 years of employment with the City of Philadelphia and 33 years as a Philadelphia police officer, introduced by Councilmember Jim Harity.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity.
Good afternoon, Council President, colleagues. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Congratulations. Will the clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
And a privileged resolution honoring former Philadelphia Flyers All-Star Wayne Simmons, who, after playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, will retire as a Flyer after signing a ceremonial one-day contract with the team, introduced by Councilmember Bass.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. That completes our calendar for today. Are there any speeches on part of the minority? The chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. I also wanted to be marked voting aye on the resolutions I missed while I was outside. So today, in honor of Women's History Month, I am introducing resolutions in honor of several women who have been making history right here in Philadelphia. The first is Eva Gladstein. Eva devoted her career to improving the lives of all Philadelphians and to making government work for those who need it most. Her work spanned multiple city offices in city government and funneled hundreds and millions of dollars into our communities, but she never lost sight of the most fundamental responsibility, which is to improve the lives of everyday Philadelphians. When she retired, we lost one of the boldest, most brilliant public servants. She will continue to serve as a model for us who envision a Philadelphia where every family can count on safe, affordable home. Second, I would like to honor Dr. Joanne Seaver. Joanne has spent decades educating Philadelphia children in ways that embrace their culture, honor their individuality, and cultivate a love of learning, and challenge them to be leaders and peacemakers. Her tutoring projects have taught thousands of young people across Philadelphia how to read and how to provide life-changing services to children who have been underserved by institutions that should be taking care of them. And to this day, she continues to nourish and strengthen her community. Through her teaching, mentorship, and advocacy, she shows us what it means to envision a fight for education that children all deserve. And I met Joanne during a fight for Worcester Elementary. And at that time, I ended up becoming very ill. And just imagine a strange woman just coming to say, what does your family need? And she was willing and able just to fill in a huge gap that I needed at the time. And I am internally grateful for the support that she had given me and my family at one of the hardest times. And you know, it's important that we support strangers that just saw a need for me and my family and stepped up. And I will, you know, forever honor her for the work that she's done in the community as well as with me and my family. And third, Council President, I would like to join you in introducing the resolution in honor of Mercedes Reyes. Mercedes began working as a domestic worker when she was 11 years old and currently lives with her family in South Philadelphia. And after experiencing significant abuse in her workplace, including wage theft, discrimination, total lack of health insurance, she began organizing with her fellow domestic workers for respect, dignity, and better conditions. And she has been a pillar of the community and a leader in the fight for domestic workers' Bill of Rights. And although she recently retired, after over 70 years as a domestic worker, she remains committed to winning the legislation and funding that will make the promises of the Domestic Workers' Bill of Rights a reality. And I also, you know, I met Mercedes way before council session when this Domestic Workers' Bill of Rights came out, and just seeing her strength and advocacy around this work where retaliation is unheard, very silent, and behind closed doors, and just her willingness to continue to bring more women into the fight about domestic, the fight in support of domestic workers. And I understand this firsthand because I too was a domestic worker early on in life, and I took care of children and took care of seniors. So I'm forever grateful for her advocacy and organizing, and I wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to give her flowers now. And I'm also co-introducing the resolution with Councilmember Rue Landau to recognize March 28th as International Trans Day of Visibility. By recognizing Trans Day of Visibility, we honor and celebrate the contributions of trans people to our families, our communities, our history, our culture, and our movements for justice. This Women's History Month, I especially want to acknowledge the contribution of Black trans women like Marsha P. Johnson, who insisted on no pride for some of us without liberation for all of us. And in honor of Martha P. Johnson, Dominique Remy Fells, and many others, I call on this body to continue to work on to protect and affirm Black trans women in our city. Thank you so much, Council President.
You're welcome. The chair recognizes Councilmember O'Rourke.
Council President, good, morning to my colleagues as well as to the listening public all of Philadelphia. Not here to speak on any policy today, but rather to let you know about some of the work that our team will be doing in the community in the upcoming weeks. I want to thank the Free Library for agreeing to our first public and to host our first public office hours in conjunction with the Councilmanic Office of Nicholas O'Rourke, which will be a day-long event at library branches around the city. Here's how it'll work. The brilliant Bethany Stewart, I don't know if she's still in our chambers today, our Director of Constituent Services for our office will be on site at a select library all day, helping to connect folks to city services and other forms of assistance. Around 4 o'clock, I'll come through as well to sit and talk to constituents one-on-one for a couple of hours, or as long as the time will allow, making municipal presence accessible to our citizens and for those coming as we request. I'm looking forward to hearing about all that you'd like to share, and for those coming, for all that you'd like to share, and to keep the conversation focused, on a specific topic or two, so that we can ensure that it's a fruitful exchange, a productive exchange. It would help mightily as well if you sign up to speak in advance of your coming, and you can check out our social media page to find out how to do so. But if you pull up while there's still time and the library closes at 6, y'all, we can still chop it up a little bit. Please stay. I'm happy to announce that our first office hours event is coming in a couple weeks on April 2nd, and we're beginning at Cecil B. Moore Library. We hope to see folks there because we need to hear from you to better understand how best to serve you, to know where we agree, where our views may diverge, and to get you what you need. Government should work for you, and that's what we're endeavoring to do here. So stay on the lookout for our other office hours events around the city. As they unfold, we'll be announcing them through social media, and if you're not in North Philly, we'll be in your area soon enough. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Speeches on behalf of the majority. The chair recognizes Councilmember Anthony Phillips.
Thank you, Council President Johnson. I just wanted to briefly state that last night in Northeast at Northeast High School, thanks to you and your partnership, we were able to host a town hall with Councilmember Driscoll and O'Neill, and also State Senator Jimmy Dillon was there, State Representative Jared Solomon, and State Representative Anthony Bellman was there as well. So it was a wonderful evening. As State Representative Anthony Bellman says, meetings do turn to action. As a result of meetings, we were able to learn about the importance of funding city violence prevention organizations. Among everything else, at a meeting, I learned about the importance of ski masks. So meetings do lead to action. I just wanted to let people know that we learned a lot. Mental health has been said. What is, I believe, is now the key thing that residents want to see from our city, and I think how we go about that in the city going forward is going to be our next big thing that we support people on, based off of residents at the Northeast. Parent engagement has been it's been termed for many years now, and I think now it's the time of how we could better support our parents that came from that meeting. And also, we talked about people talked about the idea of spirituality, which is something that is relatively new to the discourse, but spirituality in schools being taken away and so forth, that could be potentially helpful. But those are just things that were brought up last night and for all of us to reflect on. So I just want to say thank you, Council President, and all the others who showed up, including Councilman Harity and Councilman O'Rourke, who showed up last night too. Then, I just want to briefly announce that Senator Sharice Street is hosting a town hall community service meetings tonight in Logan from 5:30 to 7 p.m. With myself, Councilman Harity, and State Representative Darisha Parker. It's going to be at West Systems Health, and that's going to be right there in the Logan section of the City of Philadelphia. So for all of our Logan residents, please come out to that meeting. We also are going to be having a town hall that I'm hosting in Alany, in East Oak Lane, for our Alany, Fern Rock, and also Logan residents on Thursday, March 27th from 5:30 to about 7:30 at night over at Passy, 6925 Old York Road. We look forward to hearing from you. We'll have some city services there, and it's going to be a great time. It's important for us to be in neighborhoods, and I want to continue to have residents come out so we can hear them and do the people's business. So thank you so much. God bless.
You're welcome, and great job yesterday, council in them streets. Keep up the good work. The chair now recognizes Councilmember Jamie Gaudier.
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to start by congratulating Eva Gladstein and thanking Councilmember Brooks for the resolution. I'm an Eva Gladstein stan. I see her as somebody that successfully came from activism and organizing into the city, and as someone who's had such an impact a positive impact on people living in poverty in our city. And I hope that when I retire, I can say that I've had my hands in as many, great things and the same type of really positive impact. I also wanted to talk about my street naming resolution. So today we named the 5400 block of Woodland Avenue Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson Way in honor of Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson's service to Southwest Philadelphia and the city at large. Dr. Minnie's first foray into community service involved feeding seniors at Thanksgiving in 1968. 2 decades later, she hosted 25,000 seniors for Thanksgiving dinner at what was then the Philadelphia Civic Center, credited as the city's largest one-day feeding event in history. Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson also has a deep passion for criminal justice. After earning her doctorate on the subject, she founded Concerned Parents Incorporated, a group that provided community service opportunities to the clients of the Pennsylvania Society of Prisons. Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson went on to work full-time for the Prison Society, eventually becoming the first program manager for the Reentry Service Project, where she created the only certified job development course at Temple, which cultivated job opportunities for reentering residents. Somehow still finding the time to do more, Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson got involved with Philadelphia Safe and Sound, disrupting the cycle of violence by nurturing young people. Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson is no stranger to the spotlight, having already received hundreds of awards from luminaries like President Jimmy Carter, President Ronald Reagan, President George H.W. Bush, President Bill Clinton, Reverend Leon H. Sullivan, and Congressman Bob Brady. But I like to think that this one is special because Southwest Philadelphia has been Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson's beloved community for decades, and she nurtured it with love, tenderness, and dedication. Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson's home on the 5400 block of Woodland Avenue is known among neighbors as a safe haven where they can always find a hot meal or a place to stay. No award feels as special as the one you receive from your own people. It is only right that Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson's name graces the street she has called home for decades. Dr. Minnie Moore Johnson, thank you and your family for being here with us earlier today. I'm grateful for this opportunity to give you your flowers while you're still here and to rename a street after such an illustrious and accomplished woman during Women's History Month. I also want to acknowledge the Honorable Janie Blackwell for helping me with this street renaming. The councilwoman has never stopped looking out for our communities, and I appreciate her partnership greatly. Thank you so much.
Good job. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity.
Thank you, Council President, colleagues. I was proud to be able to honor Officer Tony Long Sr. today. Tony is a member of the graduating class 297A at the Police Academy in April of 1992. In September of 2003, Officer Long was assigned to City Hall, where he has worked under 5 city mayors, leading back to the Honorable Ed Rendell administration, and now to the current administration of the Honorable Sherelle Parker. Tony served as a 33-year veteran of law enforcement in the Philadelphia Police Department and a 37.5-year employee of the city. Officer Long worked in various capacities, including Philadelphia sports team championship games, the DNC and RNC conventions, visits from several presidents in the United States, numerous elected officials and dignitaries, as well as a special visit from Pope Francis in 2015. Officer Long was also a member of the Major Incident Response Team. Over the years, Officer Long has received acknowledgments from his supervisor for his professionalism and years of service. We are sad to see Tony leave, but it is a well-deserved retirement. You know, we come in here every day, and the one thing we know is that Tony's going to be sitting down there looking after us along with the other police officers that do that detail. Kind of unsung heroes, you know, they protect us every day. A lot of stuff goes on outside of City Hall that they have to attend to, and you know, it's just an honor to be able to show him his flowers while he's still here, especially in front of his lovely wife and his 2 children, 2 young men. So again, please give a round of applause for Tony Long. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Congratulations. The chair recognizes Councilmember Nina Ahmad.
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to acknowledge and thank and express my gratitude to our President, Joe Biden, who during this Women's History Month announced an executive order focused on women's health research. It's called the Advancing Women's Health Research and Innovation Executive Order 14120 that solidifies women's health research as a priority for the federal government. This action taken has been really, we have needed this for a long time because women's health is underfunded, under-researched, understudied. And I hope this is going to result in more permanent legislative action so it's codified for this entire country. During the hearings we had in City Council here on March 8th for maternal mortality, we encountered evidence from our testimony from physicians who talked about the disparity in how reimbursement happens, insurance reimbursement for procedures between males and females in terms of what procedures get reimbursed at a higher rate. And much of our maternal mortality can be attributed not just to the racism in our healthcare system, but also to how dollars are allocated to women's health. So I really want to underscore that our nation is paying attention, and we in Philadelphia will also be paying attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Councilmember Ketsi Lozada.
Thank you, Council President. As we celebrate Women's History Month, I am honored to dedicate some time today to recognize the contributions of truly incredible women in our city. Today with me, as you heard, are 8 remarkable women who embody the spirit of care, creativity, and leadership within the Kensington neighborhood of Philadelphia. These women work hard daily to shape young minds, instill knowledge, and foster a love for learning. Their commitment to education and the Kensington community is invaluable to the lives they touch every day. Their impact resonates with their students, the families of their students, teachers, staff, peers, and countless community members. Educators will tell you that every day presents new challenges. These challenges often go beyond the classroom. The ones that these women face every day, just walking into the building, seems insurmountable. They have made a daily commitment to take them on for the betterment of their students and their communities. When it comes to the work we are doing to improve the neighborhood, they are the unsung heroes in the equation. But I believe that years from now, when their students become Kensington's next generation of homeowners, business owners, and community leaders, they will be singing the praises of the women that are here today, carrying the torch. They are the anchors for the future of Kensington. Thank you so much to all of my colleagues for joining me in celebrating their work. Thank you, ladies.
Good job. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to say the debate on rules, I'm here for it. I love it. That's what democracy is about. So I look forward to that conversation. But last week, on Thursday, we held a town hall on youth gun violence in our city. where over 200 folks participated. Thank you, Council President, for your participation. Thank you, Councilmember Thomas, and also Senator Street for participating in our discussion with the community to get some feedback on what we could be doing as a city to help better their lives. I also want to thank Commissioner Bethel as well for answering questions and some tough questions from the community. Last night, we also had a SEPTA Town Hall. I want to thank Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson for your leadership on this. It allowed parts of North Philadelphia to hear SEPTA's plan on their revolution. And SEPTA, I think, got some great feedback last night from some communities in North Philadelphia. We had that meeting at Hope Partnership School at 11th and Huntington in the 37th Ward. There will be another meeting with SEPTA at Strawberry Mansion High School. I believe it's April 2nd. So folks look forward to that flyer coming soon. And next Wednesday, we will also have another community meeting at Philabundance Community Kitchen in the 10th and Dolphin area. So folks who live around 10th and Dolphin, 10th Susquehanna, that part of the community, please come out to share your concerns with me and to get to know your new council member. And last, Mr. President, at 1 o'clock today, the Committee on Commerce and Economic Development, chaired by Councilmember Squilla, will hold a hearing on Act 135. I am encouraging all who want to learn more about this act to come and listen in on this hearing. We're going to discuss some great things that the act does and some things that could use improvement. And so you all, welcome you all to participate in that hearing. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Good work. The chair now recognizes Councilmember Mike Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, this body has taken a great stride in combating dangerous, reckless, nuisance, and illegal driving. By passing this bill to outlaw the possession of license plate flipping devices, we are sending the clear message that these 007 devices and the reckless behavior they enable belong in an action movie. They do not belong on the streets of Philadelphia. These devices are used to mask your identity when engaging in reckless driving, such as speeding, running red lights, drifting, avoiding tolls, and beyond. We are giving law enforcement another tool in their toolkit to combat this behavior in our city. So thank you to my co-sponsors and to every member of this body for voting in favor of this bill, and to our law enforcement officers who seek to protect and to serve every day. Secondly, Mr. President, I'd like to thank Councilman Curtis Jones for your leadership on the gaming bill. I think that's going to really make a difference in every neighborhood in this city. And it also shows the small businesses that have liquor licenses, legal liquor licenses, the American Legions, the VFWs, the AOHs, that they'll be able to make some legal money to help them stay afloat and to keep our neighborhoods stronger. So thank you, Councilman, for that. I also, on behalf of Councilmember Bass, want to remind all the council members that immediately after council, members and designated staff will be having a briefing on PIDC. Lunch will be served. And lastly, yesterday, my dad, Joe Driscoll, a World War II veteran, celebrated his 100th birthday, so I just want to give him a shout out. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. That's truly an honor and a blessing, 100 years. The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau.
Thank you, Council President. First, I just want to, this is our last public meeting in this month, so recognizing all of the strong and courageous women who we've honored during Women's History Month today and throughout this month. It's just spectacular to hear the stories. And second of all, thank my colleagues for all of our violence community town halls that we're having. Can't wait to start participating in more of those. It's so important to hear from the community. But I'm really want to talk about, underscore the urgency of our call to action regarding the Affordable Connectivity Program. As chair of the Information and Technology Committee, I believe that access to the internet is not a luxury, but a necessity, a fundamental right. The Affordable Connectivity Program has been a beacon of hope for millions of Americans, bridging the gap between those with internet access and those without. However, its impending expiration threatens to roll back years of progress in closing the digital divide. With this resolution, we urge President Biden and Congress to swiftly prioritize the reauthorization and funding of the Affordable Connectivity Program. By ensuring its continuation, Congress can reaffirm its commitment to equitable access for all Philadelphians and Americans to vital resources such as telehealth, education, and employment opportunities. I hope the federal government will rise to the occasion to support our communities regardless of zip code or income level. And second, I'm proud to recognize through a resolution I introduced with Councilmember Kendra Brooks that March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility in the city of Philadelphia. This is a day to celebrate the vibrant contributions of transgender, non-binary, and gender-expansive individuals in our community and lift up the joy, triumphs, and pride that transgender people experience and bring into our communities. We honor their resilience, their achievements, and their invaluable role in shaping our city's identity. Our celebration must be accompanied by a solemn acknowledgement of the challenges that transgender and non-binary individuals continue to face. Discrimination, violence, and legislative attacks threaten their safety and well-being. We stand in solidarity with them, reaffirming our commitment to fostering an inclusive and supportive environment where everyone can thrive. In recognizing Transgender Day of Visibility, let us not only celebrate the progress we have made, but also recommit ourselves to the ongoing struggle for equality and justice. Together, let us ensure that every voice is heard, every life is valued, and every individual is empowered to live authentically. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Councilmember Thomas for a motion to adjourn. Councilmember Jones.
Thank you. I was wondering if Obama Higgins was going to get to speak before I did. But let me first thank my members for standing up to giants and bullies and voting for the gaming bill. That took a lot of courage. I know you were contacted. I know people told you the sky was going to fall. But I appreciate you guys standing up to the bully. Appreciate you doing the David and Goliath thing for the neighborhoods of the city of Philadelphia. And it is not a perfect bill. And we are open to continued conversation with people to figure out how to make it a better bill. But what I will note is that in 2017, the door got opened for these machines to be dropped into our neighborhoods. And we've been waiting for help from Harrisburg. And I believe by passing this bill, it will incentivize our colleagues at the state level to finally take this on and do something on behalf of Philadelphia. My only concern is that when they do not pay attention to what our specific concerns about the gaming industry are and include us in the dialogue. Mr. President, I hope you will take that to Harrisburg for us. Secondly, for evil to triumph, it only takes good men and women to do nothing, to say nothing, and allow it to exist. I want to thank my majority leader for calming me down with the rule book. She pulled out the rule book on me. And I thank you for that because it is Ramadan. And sure enough, I was about to break my fast because my emotions started getting in the way of the message and the truth. The issue for me, and I want to thank my colleague Phillips, and I'm going to take you up on, you said you'd meet with anybody. That's what you said. It's on the record. And I want to join you in meeting with people who you may or may not agree with. Because for 17 years, I turn around and I pay attention to whoever comes up to that mic, whether I agree with their cause or not, because this is the people's house. They have a right to speak. And what is important is that when you silence people, it only creates agitation and hatred and other things. When you dialogue with people, when you open and really listen, guess what? We might learn something. We might appreciate their point of view. And that's all I ask. I could have, like you said, introduced a resolution to bring the Middle East conflict right here. But I was asked not to, and it was wise not to. Because first, we as a body must always sweep under our feet first. Until we clean up the violence here in Philadelphia, who am I? Who are we to talk about what should go over there? We can have our opinion, but our work is right here. And so therefore, wisdom dictated that we take care of our business. But I hope that our better angels, because Ramadan just isn't about not eating and drinking, it's about really reflecting on what is right and what is wrong. And that if we listen to people together collectively, I have faith in this body that we would do the right thing every time. We may not like it, it may not be 17-0 votes, it may be a little contested, but that is better public policy. So I want to thank you again, Majority Leader, for whooping out that was in true Blondell spirit. And I want to say that I too, Member Phillips, believe that we are heading in the right direction. We start on time, and if the speeches aren't too long, we end on time. But we should always strive to do better. And listening to people is in that reflection. I live in an interdenominational household. I got everybody who believes in one God lives in my house. You know what I'm talking about, Member O'Rourke. And when you listen to others, you will gain from their experience, life experience. One Philly, right? Even if we don't like what they're saying, we won Philly. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. And I'm sure this would be first of many spirited dialogues and conversations and debates on this in this body, and I've been here since 2011. I've seen a variety of them, but the rules exist for a reason, and just because we follow the rules means we're not shutting anyone down. If the subject of debate is not on the floor, rather it's for anyone that comes to this body, then we're going to follow the rules just based upon us being in line with the rules of this great institution that we all voted upon during the last presidential election for this body. However, though, every member in this body, including myself, rather I agree with any individual on a topic here in the city of Philadelphia, rather it's Ramadan or Christmas. I've sat down with them, I've had conversations with them, and can no one in here say rather not an individual reached out to me directly and said, let's have this conversation, irregardless of what's said on this particular floor. Individuals know my character and how I operate as an individual, hence why I'm in this position right now. And so as we move forward as a body, yes, this is the people's house. And we will always make sure that people feel comfortable when they do come here. But nevertheless, the rules that we voted upon during this last election for this body are in place for a reason. And just because we have rules does not mean we disagree with another person's opinion. There's just rules to make sure that this body operates efficiently as we move this great city of Philadelphia forward. And so with that being said, and I'm more than welcome to have sidebar conversations, Mr. Jones, with yourself or anyone else. But at this particular time, sir, we're going to wrap up. And at this time, I'm going to call on Councilman Curtis.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Use your adage. What I'm not talking about is your character. I respect the rules of this body. But for years, I listened to Joe Dennehill. and others, since you've been there, that use the art of taking what is supposed to be a bill or resolution and then weaving it into whatever cause they have. And that is at somewhat our discretion. So what I'd like us to be is a little more fair. That's all
Understood,
I'm
sir.
asking. Thank you,
Understood.
Mr. President.
You're welcome. It is a new data that was under the past administration, but I will take what you're saying in consideration, sir. With that being said, the chair now recognizes my good friend, Deputy Majority Whip, Mr. Isaiah Thomas.
Thank you, Council President. Before we close out, I just wanted to, and I thought someone would do it, and I agree with all the comments that were said, but there was a number of unfortunate shootings that took place this week, incidents involving young people. I'm not going to start naming any names, but on just behalf of the legislative body, before we close out, I just wanted to make sure that we offered our condolences to all of the families and the victims who suffered loss this week because of gun violence, some heart-wrenching deaths that will surely be discussed for years to come. So I just wanted to make sure I put that on the record. I love the energy and the great work that all the council members are doing. But I know that those families are really suffering right now. And I mean, even me personally, I went back and looked at some DMs from one of the victims who was killed this week. And it's always unfortunate, and you know, it's hitting it's hit very close to home for a lot of us. So maybe next week's break is somewhat needed based on, you know, all of the emotions that folks are feeling here today. I'm sure that everybody viewing and watching can see the tension. So with that being said, Council President, I move that council stand adjourned until Thursday, April 4th, 2024. Knowing you, Council President, will be starting at 10 a.m. sharp.
Absolutely. It has been moved and properly seconded. The council stand adjourned until Thursday, April the 4th of 2024 at 10 a.m. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, everybody have a great Easter holiday weekend. Yes. We also have a briefing at 1 p.m. now in the caucus room.